Xiao Yuanshi has dealt a crushing blow, demoting his wife to a concubine and sending documents to the capital to formalize the union with Liu Ru. For Shi Qingluo, the reality of her downfall is a bitter pill to swallow, as she finds herself trapped within the very walls where she once held power. The humiliation deepens as Xiao Yuanshi orders his former brother-in-law, Shi Qingluo, to vacate the deputy governor's office. Despite Shi Qingluo's desperate attempts to plead her case, she remains confined to her courtyard, realizing too late that her husband's heart has turned cold. As the disgraced Shi Qingluo desperately offloads her remaining wealth to her unreliable brother, Shi Qingluo observes from a distance. With little sympathy for a woman who dug her own grave, Shi Qingluo turns her attention to the bustling life of the northern city, ready for whatever schemes lie ahead. A chance encounter in the street brings Shi Qingluo and Zai Rong face to face with the formidable King Jin. Beneath a mask of cordiality and feigned surprise, the tension between the prince and his niece is palpable. Seated together for a meal, King Jin tests the waters, his interest piqued by the vibrant and sharp-witted Shi Qingluo. He finds her far more intriguing than the typical village women he expected, recognizing a dangerous potential in her composure. As the meal progresses, King Jin attempts to subtly probe for weaknesses and opportunities, but Shi Qingluo remains a slippery, clever adversary. Their conversation dances around the needs of the northern border, setting the stage for a strategic game of cat and mouse. Shi Qingluo boldly pivots the conversation, requesting a detailed dossier on the northern border's cities. She masks this strategic intelligence gathering as a desire to help the common people, playing right into the prince's ambition. Miles away, the isolated and resentful Shi Qingluo erupts in a fit of rage, destroying her finery as she learns others will attend the prestigious banquet at King Jin's residence. Her descent into bitterness is complete, fueled by the sting of her irrelevance. The arrival of the pair at the mansion causes a stir among the local elite. Whispers ripple through the crowd as the status of the humble magistrate's wife is suddenly elevated in the eyes of the curious onlookers. The aristocratic ladies of Northern City are taken aback. They struggle to reconcile the rumors of a simple village woman with the refined figure walking alongside a high-ranking marquis, questioning her true origins. Secondary consort Hua makes a grand entrance, radiating an aura of influence that mirrors the grace of the Empress. Her presence commands the room, and her eyes lock onto her prime targets. The consort is nothing if not charming, showering Shi Qingluo with excessive praise. It is a masterful social performance intended to draw the golden doll into the orbit of King Jin's household. Secondary consort Hua finally gets to the point, hoping to glean secrets for profit. Shi Qingluo, sensing a golden opportunity, introduces the concept of improving paper production to her. Shi Qingluo knows exactly what she is doing. By offering technological advancements that challenge the interests of the powerful aristocratic families, she is skillfully positioning King Jin to bear the brunt of their eventual fury. The proposal for cheaper, higher-quality paper and fashionable oil paper umbrellas captures the imagination of everyone present. Shi Qingluo is no longer seen as a mere village woman, but as a fountain of lucrative ideas. With a secret meeting set, the two women have successfully signaled their collaboration to the court. For Shi Qingluo, the challenge is only beginning. She must navigate the complex web of Northern City's elite while keeping the prince at arm's length. Even Liu Ru is forced to admit the sheer brilliance of the woman her former crush chose. As the banquet concludes, Shi Qingluo stands as the undisputed center of attention, having turned the tables on everyone in the room. Inside a quiet pavilion, King Jin consults with an old Taoist regarding the mysterious and seemingly fated nature of Shi Qingluo, questioning if her knowledge truly stems from a divine, immortal master. The Taoist priest, sensing the limitations of King Jin's influence, declines to stay, choosing instead to embark on a journey to the western regions, while King Jin plans an upcoming encounter to test Shi Qingluo further. Liang Minjiu, driven by his peculiar interests, expresses a desire to control the unique Shi Qingluo, prompting his father to warn him against underestimating her and risking a dangerous backlash. Secondary consort Hua reports the success of her meeting with Shi Qingluo, and King Jin decides to personally accompany her to the tea house to negotiate the price for the valuable new recipes. Suspicious of Shi Qingluo's motives, Xiao Yuanqi summons her to his courtyard to warn her about the political dangers of associating with King Jin, specifically regarding the production of paper. Shi Qingluo remains unfazed, deftly turning the tables by questioning Xiao Yuanqi about his own past acceptance of money from King Jin, leaving the deputy governor speechless. The verbal spar continues as Shi Qingluo refuses to heed his warnings, pointedly labeling his kind intentions as nothing more than a wolf in sheep's clothing. Shi Qingluo boldly confronts him about the secret treasure map he possesses, catching the deputy governor off guard and forcing him into a state of panic as his secret is laid bare. Exhausted and thoroughly outmaneuvered, Xiao Yuanqi dismisses her, only to be left in a fit of rage once she leaves, realizing he has failed to intimidate her in the slightest. Shi Qingluo attends the meeting with King Jin and the Taoist priest, where she graciously offers to provide ancient Taoist texts, securing a new ally in the priest. Turning the negotiation toward the welfare of her county, Shi Qingluo proposes a brilliant trade: the valuable recipes in exchange for King Jin funding a cement road to Heiyang County. King Jin, despite his desire to pull her into a deeper political plot, finds himself outwitted by her clear and public-spirited demands, leaving him with no choice but to agree to the contract. The final agreement is signed, locking in the terms for the road construction, while Shi Qingluo cleverly ensures her right to use the paper recipes for her own educational purposes. Liang Minjiu tries to probe into Shi Qingluo's personal interests, only to be met with her unwavering focus on her husband and her practical passion for agricultural research. After a successful negotiation, Shi Qingluo leaves the tea house, only to stumble upon a new, unexpected scene of conflict in a quiet alleyway in Northern City. In the shadows of the Northern City, the remnants of a fallen era play a desperate game. A group of ruffians corners a young boy, demanding silver and meting out a calculated beating, unaware they are being watched. Observing from a distance, Shi Qingluo notices the telltale shimmer of sea silk on the boy's clothes. Recognizing the threads of a political trap, she waits for the ruffians to depart before stepping forward to play her part in this orchestrated encounter. Feigning sympathy, Shi Qingluo ensures the boy is taken to a clinic, subtly testing the boundaries of the deception. By the time they reach a quiet tea house, she is already fully aware that she has become the target of a deeper, dangerous intrigue. Reunited in the safety of a private room, Shi Qingluo and Zai Rong trade stories of their respective encounters. Both women realize that beauty traps have been set for them, and both decide to play along, eager to see exactly what cards their adversaries are holding. With a newfound purpose, Shi Qingluo accepts an invitation to King Jin's residence. Under the watchful eyes of secondary consort Hua and Liang Minjiu, she transforms a friendly match of chess into a display of intellect that leaves the prince stunned. The confidence of her royal power begins to fracture as Shi Qingluo dominates the board. The game is more than just a diversion. It is a calculated step in securing her influence within the heart of Northern City. As the chess matches continue, Shi Qingluo successfully directs the conversation toward the prosperity of the northern border. By offering solutions to improve the livelihoods of the commoners, she cements her necessity to the prince's regime. Hidden within the walls of the deputy governor's office, Shi Qingluo spends 2 days in focused study. She crafts a dual-pronged strategy, cotton cultivation and medicinal herbs, designed to benefit the people while carefully limiting the prince's rapid economic expansion. Returning to the prince's residence, Shi Qingluo unveils her plan for mass cotton production and specialized farming machinery. Her expertise catches King Jin and Zhu Ziqin off guard, proving she is far more than a mere visitor. The efficiency of Shi Qingluo's designs for cotton seeds and spinning creates a stir. As King Jin realizes the immense economic potential of her ideas, he begins to see her as an indispensable asset to his northern domain. Beyond textiles, she pivots to the untapped potential of medicinal herb cultivation. By providing a roadmap for regional farming based on environmental suitability, Shi Qingluo ensures that the benefits of her knowledge will reach the poorest corners of the border. The blueprints and charts are more than simple advice. They are a long-term investment. King Jin agrees to implement her strategies, not realizing that Shi Qingluo is steering his development toward a path that serves the nation as much as it serves the people. As the dust settles on the negotiations, the prince's advisors recognize the sheer value of Shi Qingluo's intellect. They resolve to bring the couple fully into their fold, hoping to secure their loyalty through titles and proximity. Before her departure, Shi Qingluo secures her legacy in the deputy governor's office. By empowering old Lady Xiao to reign in the troublesome concubine, she ensures that her enemies in the household will be kept under a watchful eye. With the pawns arranged and the seeds of reform planted, Shi Qingluo prepares to leave Northern City. She leaves behind a landscape changed by her presence, heading home to her husband, her mission accomplished. As Shi Qingluo prepares to depart Northern City, she pays a final, calculated visit to her estranged former father-in-law, Xiao Yuanxi, who is desperate to see her leave his sight. Seizing the moment, Shi Qingluo drops a bombshell about a secret connection between a local embroidery business, the lingering remnants of the previous dynasty, and a hidden half of a treasure map. Though Xiao Yuanxi is furious at being manipulated, he is too cunning to ignore the intelligence, setting the stage for a dangerous power struggle he cannot afford to lose. After a verbal sparring match, a deeply agitated Xiao Yuanxi orders Shi Qingluo to leave, yet he immediately begins mobilizing his secret guards to investigate the intel she planted. Upon stepping outside, Shi Qingluo is intercepted by Zhuo Zheng, who puts on a masterful performance of a young man desperate to escape an arranged marriage. Sensing the ulterior motive behind his act, Shi Qingluo plays along, deciding to bring the young stranger to Heiyang County to better observe his true colors. In the safety of the residence, Shi Qingluo and Zai Rong exchange notes on their respective tagalongs, both women fully aware that they are inviting wolves into the fold. The farewells are brief and calculated, as Shi Qingluo departs Northern City, leaving Xiao Yuanxi in his own world of suspicion and power games. After a swift journey, the group arrives in Heiyang County, where a long-awaited, tender reunion between Shi Qingluo and Xiao Hanzheng is quickly interrupted by the presence of the guests. Back at the county office, Xiao Hanzheng wastes no time in establishing authority, keeping a guarded eye on the newcomers while managing the logistics of the household. As the dust settles, the couple finds a moment of respite, though the complexities of their new guests and the looming threats keep their minds sharp. In the quiet hours of dawn, Xiao Hanzheng humbles himself to cook for his wife, a rare act of devotion that reinforces their bond before they pivot to discussing the danger posed by Yu Lu. Sharing intelligence about Yu Lu's past as a bandit mastermind and Zhuo Zheng's potential designs on the county workshops, the couple maps out a strategy to turn the tables on their adversaries. Deciding to use their workshops as bait, Shi Qingluo and Xiao Hanzheng resolve to entrap those attempting to steal their technology for the sake of the previous dynasty's treasonous ambitions. With plans set to expose the spies and secure their domain, Shi Qingluo and Xiao Hanzheng prepare for the inevitable clash, ready to protect their home and the people of Heiyang. With the northern border's instability on her mind, Shi Qingluo strategizes with her husband, Xiao Hanzheng, to protect their budding industrial secrets by compartmentalizing the workflow in their newly established workshops. The next day, Shi Qingluo dives into the heart of the labor, teaching workers the secrets of candle and soap making while implementing strict protocols to ensure quality and secrecy. The peace is interrupted when a dejected Zhuo Zheng arrives, claiming to have been robbed of his belongings, and uses this misfortune to beg for a place to stay and work under the guise of newfound discipline. Shi Qingluo, sensing Zhuo Zheng's ulterior motives, denies him the comfort of the guest courtyard, and instead assigns him to the cramped, communal dormitory of the workshop, flanked by unsavory roommates to test his resolve. With the spy effectively contained in his squalid quarters, Shi Qingluo turns her attention to the surrounding countryside, signing contracts with villagers to build a supply chain for the honey and medicinal herbs required for their new ventures. Back at the workshop, the final preparations are made. The sealing process is perfected with the help of family, and the first batch of canned mutton is set aside to rest, a silent experiment that will determine their future success. The irresistible fragrance of the canned mutton draws Zai Rui and Liang Yaoxiao into the workshop, where the duo is instantly won over by the succulent, well-seasoned meat, convinced that this product will be a revolutionary success. The conversation shifts from meat to fruit, as Shi Qingluo describes the potential for canned peaches and pears, sparking a new entrepreneurial vision for Liang Yaoxiao, who decides to bring these innovations to the southern markets. Emboldened by the potential for massive profits, the friends align their goals. With recipes secured from Shi Qingluo and ambitious expansion plans set for the south, the business partners prepare to turn a local experiment into a regional empire. As the workshop prepares for its grand reveal, the town of Heiyang itself undergoes a transformation, with inns and restaurants upgrading their facilities to attract traveling merchants and solidify the county's reputation as a hub of commerce. The day of truth arrives. Shi Qingluo stands before a skeptical public, ready to prove that her canned mutton can survive the heat of summer. With a precise motion, she opens a jar, releasing a savory aroma that instantly captures the crowd's attention. One after another, the people of the county taste the product, their initial skepticism replaced by profound amazement. The flavor of the perfectly seasoned mutton, preserved against all odds, proves to be a culinary revelation for all who taste it. As the tasting turns into a buying frenzy, the limited stock disappears rapidly. Liang Yaoxiao's attempt to hoard 100 cans triggers a wave of competitive buying from the crowd, while a penniless Zhuo Zheng watches with rising envy. To ensure fairness, Shi Qingluo institutes a limit on purchases, a move that only fuels the public's desire further. The promise of quality, backed by a unique after-sales guarantee, turns the canned goods into the most coveted items in the county. Watching the final jars disappear into the hands of the villagers and spies alike, Zhuo Zheng realizes that he has missed his opportunity to easily acquire the secret, realizing that the competition for these recipes will be far tougher than he anticipated. The day concludes with a sold-out inventory and a bustling, profitable atmosphere. Shi Qingluo and Xiao Hanzheng have successfully turned a simple food preservation experiment into a resounding commercial triumph that cements their influence in the region. With the mutton sold out, Shi Qingluo introduces a new curiosity to the townsfolk: canned fruit. The people are stunned, unsure if preserved fruit can truly be a delicacy until the first jars are opened and sampled. The taste is a revelation. In an age where sugar is a luxury, the sweet, preserved fruit captures hearts immediately. Shi Qingluo masterfully manages the excitement, explaining the costs and her innovative recycling plan for the jars. Turning from food to hygiene, Shi Qingluo reveals her soap and scented soap. A worker demonstrates its cleaning power, causing an uproar of amazement among the crowd who have never seen such a simple, effective way to clean clothes and skin. The prospect of affordable, fragrant, and effective soap creates a frenzy. Despite the limited quantities, the villagers are thrilled, and the workshop workers watch with growing pride, knowing their future is finally looking bright. The success of the sale solidifies the rumors of Shi Qingluo being an old immortal's disciple. Gratitude spreads through Heiyang County as the people realize that Xiao Hanzheng and his wife are transforming their lives through fair wages and genuine care. News of the divine delicacy spreads beyond the county, attracting merchants and curious elites. Liang Yaoxiao, addicted to the canned food, insists on taking a vast supply south, effectively acting as an enthusiastic distributor for the workshop. A new ritual is born, the morning queue for limited edition canned meats. As Shi Qingluo continues to develop new recipes, the scarcity marketing strategy turns these daily sales into the most anticipated event in the county. Faced with a shortage of ingredients, Shi Qingluo proposes a cooperative farming model to Xiao Hanzheng. They plan to empower the local villagers by providing livestock, fostering a community-driven production cycle that will fuel their growing empire. Beyond food, Shi Qingluo looks toward winter, planning to collect duck and goose down to revolutionize winter clothing. Xiao Hanzheng is struck by his wife's brilliance, agreeing to push these reforms through the village leadership. To ensure long-term development, they resolve to pressure the king to build the cement road he promised. It is a strategic move to secure progress and cement their reputation as the protectors and providers of Heiyang. Meanwhile, the spy Zhuo Zheng is living a nightmare. Xiao Hanzheng has intentionally placed him in the harshest work environments. Deprived of secrets and surrounded by the stench of manual labor, his spirit is rapidly breaking. Unable to withstand the physical toll and the rough conditions of the workshop, Zhuo Zheng and his fellow spies beg for transfer. Little do they know, Shi Qingluo is merely humoring them, letting them move from one unpleasant task to another. In the capital, the taste of the canned goods reaches the ears of the powerful. King Jin and his son are impressed by the innovation, realizing that Heiyang County is no longer a stagnant backwater, but a rising economic force. As the taste of victory lingers, a message arrives. Shi Qingluo has sent a letter to King Jin, boldly calling upon him to honor his promise of building the road, signaling the start of a new political chess game. King Jin is taken aback by Shi Qingluo's directness, but respects her ambition. He tasks Liang Mingjiu with going to Heiyang County to oversee the road construction and secure the alliance. Accompanied by the spoiled and beautiful Liang Mingmin, Liang Mingjiu begins the journey. He is already regretting his decision, as he realizes his younger sister has her own mischievous agenda regarding the rumored handsome Xiao Hanzheng. Driven by gossip about Xiao Hanzheng's appearance, Liang Mingmin intends to cause trouble. As the party heads to Heiyang, Liang Mingjiu worries that his sister's vanity and arrogance might jeopardize their father's carefully crafted diplomatic plans. Liang Mingjiu and his sister, Liang Mingmin, travel toward Heiyang County. Liang Mingjiu, despite his public pretense of discussing road construction, is deeply annoyed by his sister's spoiled and overbearing nature, though he fears offending her powerful status. Xiao Hanzheng learns of their arrival and warns his wife about the volatile princess Liang Mingmin. He recounts a harrowing tale from his past where he saved the princess, only for her to become infatuated and attempt to force him into servitude. Shi Qingluo is shocked by the princess's history of snatching men by force. Xiao Hanzheng explains that the royal house of King Jin is steeped in corruption, where the princess treats men as mere disposable playthings to satisfy her whims. The couple reflects on the moral rot within King Jin's estate. Xiao Hanzheng reveals the tragic fate of the princess's previous fiancé, who was crippled for defying her, solidifying his utter disgust for the woman who hides behind her father's power. Seeking to protect his wife and strike back at the approaching threat, Xiao Hanzheng hatches a scheme to orchestrate a meeting between the princess and the handsome, devious Zhuo Zhang, hoping to ignite internal conflict between the two. Away from political schemes, Shi Qingluo initiates a new project to cultivate quails and pigeons on barren suburban land. She envisions this as both a nutritious food source and a strategic asset for communication, transforming the landscape of Heiyang. Back at the soap workshop, the manipulative Zhuo Zheng finds his life turned into a nightmare. Trapped in a noisy dormitory and forced into monotonous labor, his attempts to steal the secret formulas are thwarted by his own lack of sleep and the stern discipline of the guards. Despite his status, Zhuo Zheng is forced to perform manual labor alongside commoners. His failure to secure the soap recipe becomes a mounting pressure, as he teeters on the edge of a nervous breakdown under the constant, exhausting scrutiny of the workshop staff. Desperation sets in for Zhuo Zheng and his fellow spies as they try to bribe the workers. However, the employees, bound by strict contracts and grateful for their newfound stability, refuse to betray their trust, rendering the bribes useless. Xiao Hanzheng's rigorous vetting process proves successful as loyal workers report the spies. Shi Qingluo praises her husband's foresight, confirming that their careful selection of honest, local workers has protected their vital industrial secrets. During a strategic discussion, Shi Qingluo suggests recruiting retired, injured soldiers into their workshops and security patrols. She argues that this provides these veterans with dignity, stable work, and vital support, effectively solving the county's labor shortage. Moved by his wife's compassion and wisdom, Xiao Hanzheng realizes the brilliance of her plan. This initiative would not only secure his workforce with loyal, disciplined men, but also serve as a profound model for the entire empire to care for its defenders. Broken by the harsh life of the workshop, Zhuo Zheng approaches Shi Qingluo, feigning helplessness to gain her sympathy. He begs to be removed from the labor-intensive workshop, hoping to work by her side instead. Recognizing that his current state would not impress the princess, Shi Qingluo allows him to leave the workshop. She plans to let him recuperate, aiming to keep him in prime condition so he remains attractive for her trap. Zhuo Zheng is moved to a top-tier inn, where the comfort and access to canned food make him feel truly at home. Oblivious to the trap being laid for him, he rejoices in his new status, unaware that his troubles in Heiyang have only just begun. Savoring the canned food and the luxury of the inn, Zhuo Zheng marvels at the progress of the county. He remains focused on his mission, secretly meeting his men to order them to pose as his reinforcements and provide him with more silver. While Zhuo Zheng plots his next move, a letter from the capital arrives. It reveals that the devious Shi Qingluo has successfully piqued Princess Zhen's interest in Xiao Hanzheng, setting the stage for a dangerous royal confrontation. The web of intrigue tightens as the couple learns of Shi Qingluo's machinations. With the princess's obsession growing and Zhuo Zheng assembling his own resources, the political landscape in Heiyang County becomes increasingly volatile. Xiao Hanzheng and Shi Qingluo unravel a scheme involving little Lady Ji and Liang Mingmin. Disgusted by the interference, the couple decides to orchestrate the downfall of little Lady Ji's brother, Shi Qingluo, by fueling his gambling addiction until he becomes a financial burden too heavy to bear. With a cold determination, Shi Qingluo initiates a plan to counter the brewing storm. She sends instructions to the old lady of the Xiao family to keep the pressure on in the capital, while finalizing a strategic report on how the Xiao family can secure a future in the northern city. In the distant capital, the emperor and the crown prince sample the innovative canned rations sent by the couple. Impressed by the taste and the preservation technique, they read Xiao Hanzheng's ambitious proposal to use economic leverage to pacify the Ji kingdom, forever changing their perception of the couple's genius. The emperor and the crown prince marvel at the efficiency of the canned food and the wisdom behind the economic strategy. Recognizing the couple as national treasures, they contemplate how to best reward them without inviting unwanted attention from rival princes. The crown prince praises the couple's foresight in integrating retired soldiers into the proposed workshops. This not only solves labor shortages, but cements the emperor's prestige within the military, turning the border into a stronghold of loyalty and prosperity. A difficult decision looms over the royal court. Who is trustworthy enough to govern the northern border and oversee the vital new factories? The emperor and the crown prince debate the candidates, seeking someone of noble standing who can resist the corruption of King Jin. The search for a leader leads them to Liang Yulin, a capable prince who possesses both the intellect to manage resources and the strength to hold the border steady. The emperor believes his brother is the perfect candidate, though he dreads the danger such a mission entails. Summoned to the palace, Liang Yulin hears the emperor's plea. Bound by familial loyalty and a desire to remain relevant in court politics, he accepts the daunting task of heading to the northern border, viewing it as a chance to serve his country and perhaps find a new path. With the mission confirmed, the emperor urges his brother to seek out Xiao Hanzheng and even teases him about finding a bride in the northern lands. Liang Yulin, hoping to escape the relentless pressure of matchmakers back home, agrees to the assignment with a wry, knowing smile. Across the city, the elite families of the capital gather to sample the mysterious canned goods. Skepticism turns to astonishment as they taste the preserved delicacies, realizing the immense potential of the business enterprise their relatives have launched in the provinces. Jealousy simmers within the Liang household as members of different courtyards demand a share of the profits. Old Master Liang observes the discord, weighing the greed of his relatives against the hard work and filial devotion of his grandson, Liang Yaoxiao. Old Lady Liang sternly rebukes the greedy relatives, asserting that the canned food business belongs solely to her grandson. She highlights his filial piety and ingenuity, refusing to let others who disparaged him now reap the rewards of his labor. Having secured their grandson's autonomy, the elderly couple finds themselves in possession of the rare canned goods. Seeing an opportunity for prestige, Old Master Liang decides he will take them to the imperial court to show off, much to the chagrin of his jealous sons. A humorous conflict erupts as the men of the house realize they have been cut off from the supply by the very son they sent away. Liang Mingcheng struggles to justify his desire to flaunt the gift, even as his wife reminds him of his prior negligence toward their son. The Zai family faces a similar drama, with the matriarch shielding her grandson Zai Rui from envious relatives. Just like the Liang family, the Zai elders are won over by the high quality of the food and the filial letters accompanying the shipments. At the Yemen, the irresistible fragrance of canned meat turns lunch into a social event. Old Master Liang revels in the attention, his display of his grandson's success serving as a masterclass in social maneuvering that leaves his peers burning with jealousy. The secret is out. The canned goods are a sensation. Despite the limitations on supply and the difficulty of acquiring them, the hype creates a frenzy among the capital's elites. Word travels fast, turning the simple food into a highly sought-after commodity. The momentum culminates in the court, where the emperor announces his plans for government-run workshops at the northern border. Supported by the promise of revenue and the noble goal of employing war veterans, the court unites behind the vision sparked by Shi Qingluo's ingenuity.